That kind of like spite really just drives me. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about how to stop comparing yourself to other people. I don't know if this should be a disclaimer or not, but like I'm still working on it, but these are just tips that I've been using myself to like help me get rid of insecurity and jealousy of other people. This section will be about how to mentally improve, and I'm gonna have another section about how to physically improve. Okay, the first thing on the list is to acknowledge that you are better than you think you are. Now, what I mean by that is there's this thing called imposter syndrome, right? And I'm not saying that you have to have imposter syndrome if you like don't think you belong, but this is just something that affects a lot of people. So basically, if you have imposter syndrome, you don't believe that you deserve where you are. You think you got here like purely by luck. But like I feel like or like a lot of other people around me have it, but in like a very small sense. And I think just acknowledging that that is something that is in your mind all the time is really important, because if you don't acknowledge that you are doing very good, then you'll never really appreciate how well you're doing. Now, next thing about social media, right? If you're comparing yourself to people on social media, whether they're posting their appearance or posting their achievements, I know for me, definitely the achievements really get to me. I'm like, why can I do that, you know? But just realize that social media is just a highlight reel. I mean, if you put your life in a highlight reel, there'd be pretty good moments too. You can really find that you've done a lot with your life. And if you really think about it, these people, yeah, they have these like good highlighting moments of their life, but they also just have regular moments like you are right now. Just like, for example, if you're sitting in your bed, you're doing homework, like everybody has that part of their life. There's just parts of highlights where they decide to post the good parts of their life, and you just have to realize that not every second of their life is spent partying or hanging out with friends or traveling. The next thing I would say is that don't feel alone in this struggle, because a lot of people are struggling with this, but then also realize that other people might be comparing themselves to you. And that sounds really weird, but trust me, because some people, like, they're just like you, they're also insecure, and if you're doing pretty good for yourself and you don't even realize it, some people are gonna be like, wow, she's doing really good for herself, oh wow, she's really pretty today, but you don't realize that because you're also comparing yourself to other people. All right, the last thing in my mental section of this video is everything good takes time, so don't rush it. Now, for example, if you see somebody winning like nationals, or they win like a championship and you're like, oh, that's really impressive, I wish I could do that. Just, you know, it takes a long time to get there, and maybe you're working on that too. Maybe you're like at the regional level, and everybody has their own pace. So just because somebody's there before you doesn't mean that you can't get there. It just means that you have extra steps, so you might take more time to get there. Another good thing I realized is that rather than comparing yourself to other people, compare yourself to yourself. I mean, you've done all these great things in your life. Just, you know, keep that in mind and be like, oh, I've improved, or oh wow, I can't believe I've gotten here since now. Like, rather than comparing other people who might be going at different speeds or different intensity than you are, as long as you're on your right track and your growth looks like this or this way, or I'm not sure which way it's gonna look, but like just upwards in at least a linear fashion, then you should be fine. I mean, you're improving, right? All right, this next part is going to be how to physically improve. So the first tip I have is learn how to do makeup, but not just makeup that fits your face. Now for me, I'm still figuring this out, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like doing a different eyeliner than usual. It's not going like a big wing as much, but you know, I'm just trying to figure it out and see what fits. There's always going to be a tutorial for something online. Just like find those resources and then just experiment, and it takes time, and then you'll kind of realize what looks good for you. And the next tip I have is, this sounds really silly, but you know the stupid ass like filter things they have on TikTok to like make your face super round, or like make you have really tiny eyes, or like just distort your facial features? Like, do those. And that sounds really bad, because I'm not saying you look ugly if you have small eyes or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, if you have it on for a very kind of look at it and then you remove it, you'll realize that like your natural beauty is very pretty. Like, even without makeup, I think by doing that a little bit in the past like few days, I've kind of realized that, oh wait, maybe I don't look that bad, you know, maybe I do look pretty good today. That sounds kind of silly, but it genuinely works. All right, last thing, change it up. I mean, like, I've had this kind of like length hair for a while, so if I wanted to, you know, experiment a bit more, I might cut it to here and just see what happens. I mean, I'm not gonna do that right now, but like if I really wanted to, I could just, you know, try it out. I mean, what could go wrong, you know? Like, if you just don't like it, just grow it out. And then also you can explore more styles that aren't as similar to what you're wearing right now. And I'm not saying you have to buy clothes in order to do this. I'm just saying, like, change up the way you wear your clothes. I don't know how to explain it, but like just change the sizes of your tops, the styles of your tops, the colors, and just see what looks good on you. Okay, now this last part of the video is going to be a little bit toxic. And I don't know if toxic is the right word, but definitely it's like it's a lot harsher. It's a lot more of like a rude awakening, I would say. I don't know if these are gonna be very new for you, but they're not gonna be as nice. So if you're not really into that, you don't have to listen to this. Okay, so the first thing is don't be lazy now. Like seriously, don't be lazy now, because think about it, if you're laying in bed right now and you're just like scrolling through your phone, you're stuck in like the TikTok algorithm, the YouTube cycle, just like looking at all your recommended videos, like you're being lazy right now. If you put in the work now and you become the successful version of yourself that you want to be, you can have more freedom later to do what you want. Like especially if your dream is to be like successful and have a lot of money, then if you work now to get that money, then you don't have to work later when you're in your 30s and 40s and have to work your butt off for a 9-to-5 that pays you like less than what you need to survive. And the second thing is, going along with that, just envision how you're gonna look when you're successful. And now I know a lot of people have different definitions of successful, but for me personally, I just want to live comfortably. I want to live in the city. I want to have a job where I can work on my own hours and I can work remotely, or like my own business or something like that. So just envision what that looks like now and just work for it. I mean, there's no other way to do it. If you're not gonna put in the work, who's gonna put in the work for you? Like no one's gonna literally take your hand and like do the work for you on your computer or like whatever you need to do to get there. So just do it yourself. Nobody else is gonna do it for you, and if you don't do it, you're not gonna get to your dreams. I'm sorry. Okay, the last one might be very unhealthy and like not very good for you, but this is something I'm doing and I might be unhealthy, but it's kind of working for me. So I'm not saying adopt this behavior, but I'm just saying if you're desperate and you like need to get somewhere, here's my trick for it. If you want to like get a lot of money, then instead of aiming for where that person that you're comparing yourself to is, aim higher than that. If you aim higher, you're gonna do better than them, and at the end you're gonna look back and be like, oh wow, I'm doing way better than them. And I'm not saying that this spite driven motivation is like the only thing keeping me up, or like I'm doing very well because of it. I'm just saying it's one of my main driving motivations that are like getting me out of bed and like getting to school on time and waking up on time. That kind of like spite really just drives me. But yeah, that's all for the video today. If you found any of this helpful, please you know, feel free to subscribe or like leave a comment or leave a like, whatever. That'd be very much appreciated. And thank you for all of your support. I reached like 100 subscribers really fast, which like surprised me, so thank you so much for that. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.